musukanneriti inuktitut mo. Kingunnianu uqarnerme ilinnaa nialattugu. If you don't have a lot of time, here's what you need to know about talking in the past. Taking a look at the first slide here, the first one, the blank laupi, simply means did you blank. Blank laupi, did you blank. The answers, two possible answers, are just below that. I blank lauktunga. Yes, I blanked. I blank lauktunga. Or the negative, Aka blank laungitunga. No, I didn't blank. Fill in the blanks with whatever it is you're talking about, and you've just talked in the general past. Let's go to the next one. Blank kauvi. Did you blank earlier, as in maybe this morning or some other time earlier today? Blank kauvi. Did you blank earlier? The two responses below. I blank kauyunga. Yes, I blanked earlier today. Or the other response, Aka blank kaungitunga. No, I didn't blank earlier today. Aka blank kaungitunga. Again, fill in the blank with whatever it is that you're talking about, and you've just spoken in the past, the near past, as opposed to the first one, which was the general past. And that's what you need to know. Before we get into a little bit more creative use of the past, here's how Inuktitut thinks about time in terms of making words. You simply take a chunk that implies when something happened and put it in the word. It's not super difficult. So if we look at the timeline I've made here, you can see that there's a red line that says present, and there's a chunk for something that happened just now. You would put that in your word, sak, or if you were a different dialect, ratak. Something just happened, you put sak or ratak in the word. If something happened earlier today, you use kau. If something happened in the general past, you use lauk. And if something happened long ago, you use lauksima. You simply put those chunks in the word to indicate at what point in the past you're talking about. Okay, let's put what we know, what we've just learned, to work. Beginning with what we already know. Let's take a words are like stories idea. Taku, every word has a beginning. Taku, and every story has a happily ever after, an ending. V. Taku V. Taku V. Meaning do you. The V ending, do you. Do you. So do you see? Are you seeing? Taku V. Taku V. Taku V. Do you see? Do you see? See, do you? Now, what is it that we're seeing? Well, let's put a friendly or not so friendly nanok, nanok, a polar bear. And if nanok is the thing being seen, let's not forget that we want to put a meek attached to it. If nanok is the thing doing the seeing, then we don't need the meek. If I say takuvi nanok, I'm asking nanok, do you see? Whereas if I go nanomik takuvi nanok, I'm asking, do you see the bear? That's the difference. Add a meek and the bear is being seen. Take the meek away, and the bear is doing the seeing. But for our cases, let's make it the thing being seen. So takuvi nanomi. Do you see a bear? Now, what do we reply? How do we reply? Well, we just change our ending. Nothing else, just the ending. Instead of asking the question to you, I'm going to reply, Takuyunga, yunga, I see. We use the y, yunga,
instead of tunga because taku ends in a vowel. Taku yunga. What are we seeing? What is being seen? Nano. Therefore, nanomik. Taku yunga nanomik. Now recall what happens if we don't see the bear. Well, we go back to our word and our toolbox here, and we put in a plot twist. Ni, not seeing. Ni, not seeing. So we just follow the pattern here. Taku ni dunga. See, not I. I don't see. Kisu, what? Polar bear. Ni. Taku ni dunga. Nano mi. I don't see a polar. Ni. Oh, second made a little boo-boo, but remember spelling does not matter because this is more often a spoken language, and that's what we're trying to do is learn how to speak. So what do we do about past now? How do we incorporate past? Well, let's follow the pattern of our story analogy. Beginning, characters, setting is next. Setting is our time. So let's put neat back. Let's make a mini conversation, shall we? Taku, starting with the most recent. Sak, or different dialect, ratak, depending on where you are, you'll hear one or the other, or maybe both if you happen to live in a cosmopolitan uh, Inuit city. Taku sak, they both end in P, or taku ratak, P. P. We're going to use P because those both end in Q as consonants. Taku sak, P. We're going to use sak because that's the dialect I learned. Taku sak, P. Kisu, kisumi. What did we see? What are we seeing? Nanomi. Again, let's add the meek, not forget the meek. Taku sak, P. Nanomi. Doesn't mean earlier today. That's cool. It means just now. Just now. Taku sa pinanong. Did you just see a nanok? Did you just see a nanok? What happens if you did? You say taku sa, consonant form, tunga nanomi. Taku sa tunga nanomi. I just saw polar bear. Oh, I put nanok in the one above. Itaku sa tunga nanomi. I just saw a polar bear. Capiana, scary. Capiana. Unless you got a bunch of guys with guns around you, you don't really want to see one, if ever. Taku sa. And if you didn't see it, well, we put our plot twist in the order ascribed by a metaphor or analogy. Taku sa ni tunga. Ni ends in a T. So we're going to go to Taku sa ni tunga isumi. What? Nanomi. I did not see. Okay, that's a relief. That's much better. If you look closely, you'll notice that the ni, remember, is consonant hungry and gobbles down the Q at the end of sa. Gobbles down the Q at the end of sa. Now, this pattern follows for all the time chunks in the past and the future, which is the next video. For example, if I do taku kaungitunga, taku kaungitunga, I didn't see earlier today, as in this morning, a polar bear. Taku kaungitunga, polar bear. If I just put lao in instead, and I go taku lao nitunga nanong mi, then I've said I didn't see a polar bear in the past, maybe yesterday and before, some general point in the past. If I say taku lao simangi tunga, that means I didn't see a polar bear a long, long time ago. Effectively, never. So that's a unique one. Taku lao simangi tunga nanomi. I have never seen a polar bear. Literally, it's something like I long ago did not see polar. We could think of that as never. So if we were to ask the question for that, it becomes Takulauksima vi nanomi. Takulauksima vi. So let's use our endings properly. Takulauksima v because lauksima ends in an a vowel. Takulauksima vi nanomi. So literally, if we were to translate it into how it's actually thought of, it would be, have you ever seen a polar bear? But literally, it's it's something like, did you long ago see a polar bear? That's literally how you would form the word, but in the real world, it means, have you ever seen a polar bear? Or takurao simangitungan nanong. I have never seen a polar bear. Let's do it one more time. Takulao simavi, takulao simavi nanong. Have you ever seen a polar bear? The answer, takulao sima ni tunga. I have never seen nanong, a polar bear. And if you have, well, we just take out our plot twist as usual, reform the word takulauksima yunga because it ends on the vowel, the lauksima, takulauksima yunga nanomi. I have seen polar bear before. Takulauksima yunga nanomi. So that's all there is to this. It's a lot simpler than other languages, fortunately for Inuktitut learners. Have fun with it, play with it, try it out, and I'll see you in the next video, which is going to talk about the future.
So I've added the time markers, the settings, as we call them, if we think of words like stories, into our chart of what we know. Right now, with what we know, you can now make 1,080 words and 6,480 phrases. So with just a little, you can say a lot. I think that's pretty exciting.